The woman featured on the right side of the following video had been dealing with strange paranormal activity for several years and had come to accept sharing her home with a ghost whenever friends or family visited. She would give them a heads up about the spirit and explain why it seemed intent on scaring them. However, things never escalated to the level seen in the clip you're about to watch. The two women in the video discussed the event afterward, revealing that neither of them had ever experienced something so intense. This encounter was enough to push the homeowner to her limit, prompting her to take a stand against the spirit's antics. Take a look.
It's okay. It's okay. Just ignore and don't do anything. Just ignore. Sometimes these things is happening, you know. Yes, maybe because we talk. Oh my God. Okay, just leave it. Just ignore. Yes, that's what. Get out! Get out from my house! Okay, we just let's talk about
What made this incident particularly terrifying compared to previous ones was the sheer danger involved. All of the cutlery in the kitchen was flung violently off the counter in the direction of the two women. Among the items thrown were knives, which posed a serious threat to their safety. In the past, the ghost would usually respond to the homeowner's scolding, stopping its actions after being reprimanded. This time, however, it blatantly ignored her shouting and continued to act out, making it a truly perilous situation. One can only hope that she managed to make it out unharmed. Paranormal hauntings are often described as unsettling and frightening experiences, but they rarely become the most traumatic moment of a person's life. For Rosanna, though, what she encountered in the following video left her utterly shaken and haunted for years to come. Rosanna was an ambitious young woman studying hairdressing in college with dreams of opening her own salon to hone her skills. She often practiced on a mannequin head with incredibly lifelike hair. Unbeknownst to her, this mannequin wasn't just a training prop, it seemed to have a life of its own. If the head's unnervingly lifelike eyes weren't disturbing enough, things took a much scarier turn. No matter where Rosanna moved in the room, the head's gaze followed her with eerie precision. To make matters worse, a nearby object suddenly toppled off the table despite being perfectly stable there for over a week. These three occurrences together left no room for doubt. Something supernatural was happening in Rosanna's home, and this was just the beginning. Later that night, unable to shake the fear from the mannequin incident, Rosanna attempted to sleep around 11 p.m. Her mind raced, imagining a ghostly presence watching her. Her worst fears were realized when she suddenly found herself face to face with a spectral figure.
Loli.
Out of nowhere, a shadowy figure appeared at the far end of the hallway. As Rosanna watched in growing terror, the figure began to move toward the door, its ominous press creating unbearable tension. When it finally reached the doorway, Rosanna panicked and hid under a nearby piece of furniture, praying she would remain unnoticed for a solid 4 minutes. The spirit lingered, standing eerily, still as if it were watching her. Eventually, it glided away to the right and did not return for the rest of the night. Desperate to rid her home of this malevolent entity, Rosanna has since reached out to her local Catholic church for help. She is currently in discussions with them about possible ways to exorcise the spirit, but no progress has been made so far. One can only hope she finds the resolution she desperately needs. The reflection clearly showed what appeared to be a human face, and it wasn't a trick of the light. This happened at 1:20 in the morning, long after the sun had set. Rosanna later described how she could distinctly see the figure's eyes, even noting that they blinked. This confirmed her belief that it wasn't just a figment of her imagination, but something real. Frozen in terror, she remained motionless, staring at the ghostly figure, only to realize that this would not be her last encounter with the spirit. The following morning, Rosanna decided to treat herself to a hearty breakfast as a way of rewarding her resilience after the horrifying events of the previous day. Feeling somewhat at ease, she quickly devoured her meal and settled into the living room to watch some TV. She was finally able to relax for the first time in days, but this sense of calm was fleeting. What happened next shattered her brief moment of peace. On February 13, 2019, a YouTuber we've previously mentioned on this channel, known as Mellow Bird or simply Mellow, realized that his new home wasn't the escape he had hoped for. For those unfamiliar, Mellow has had several run-ins with the paranormal, and his last appearance on our channel detailed his decision to leave his old house due to escalating ghostly activity. However, as the following clip shows, his plan to leave the spirit behind didn't go as intended. After a few weeks of settling into his new home, Mello had just set up his internet and was enjoying a quiet evening in the living room, catching up on his favorite TV shows. Unfortunately, the moment the Wi-Fi was up and running seemed to serve as a signal for the spirit to make its presence known once again. Without warning, objects in the room began moving on their own. Even while Mello was present, terrified, he realized that the entity from his previous house had somehow followed him to his new address. Overwhelmed by fear and frustration, Mello broke down in tears, feeling helpless against the haunting. After this encounter, Mello stopped recording his ghostly experiences, deciding that the spirit was feeding off the attention his videos brought. Whether or not his strategy worked remains a mystery. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you're ready to experience nights filled with spine-tingling terror and bone-chilling encounters, hit subscribe and smash that like button. Join our community of fearless viewers and unlock a world of eerie mysteries and ghostly encounters. Embrace the darkness. Your next scare is just a click away. Dare to join us? Losing a loved one is undeniably one of the most painful experiences anyone can endure. The woman in the upcoming video knows this all too well, as she was grieving the loss of her father. It was her first birthday without him, and while the atmosphere at the celebration carried moments of joy, it also felt noticeably incomplete. Despite the bittersweet mood, the family still chose to celebrate, understanding how much the woman's father had meant to her. Her mother gave her a heartfelt gift, a Build-A-Bear toy that played a recording of his voice. It was a touching gesture, but no one could have anticipated what happened next.
This one's crazy, so buckle up. I celebrated a birthday a couple weeks ago, and it's the first birthday that my dad has not been here for, and that was really hard, but it is what it is. And my mom got me a little Build-A-Bear with his voice in it. Like, the little clicky thing was his voice. And it was so sweet and adorable. And so we're all sitting at the kitchen table having a lovely time listening to his voice, and all of a sudden one of his toy fire trucks goes off in the other room. Never once have I heard this thing go off in my life. The siren goes off, the lights go off. Like, I didn't know they had batteries in them. My dad never turned them on like that. So it was so creepy. And like, we weren't talking at the table, like, we were just sitting there like listening to his voice, and then all of a sudden his thing lights up from the other room. And we recorded it all. So check it out and let me know what you think.
Do you want a big piece? How many do you want?
Hey kiddo, hope you're doing well. I'm feeling much better now, so whenever you can, just come visit me, okay? Okay.
Shut up.
No way. That has not worked. That has not worked.
The strange occurrence involved a fire truck from the father's collection. This specific fur true, which had never been activated in all the years he owned, it suddenly began blaring its siren. During the celebration, the timing was unsettling, as if it had chosen that exact moment to make its presence known. The father had been passionate about collecting fire trucks and had often expressed his frustration at not knowing how to make this particular one's sirens work. The idea that his spirit might have been responsible for setting it off, succeeding in something he couldn't do while alive, was both chilling and emotional for the family. After silencing the fur true, the family tried to shift their focus back to the dinner table, where a roast dinner had been prepared in honor of their father. However, the peculiar incident lingered in their minds, casting a shadow over the evening. They couldn't shake the thought that he might still be with them in some form. The unexpected event served as a poignant reminder of the saying, "They will always be with you in your heart." Although meant to offer comfort, this idea now carried an eerie undertone. Was their father truly with them, reaching out in a mysterious way, or was it merely a coincidence, a strange malfunction at the most unlikely moment? The experience left the family with a lingering sense of awe and uncertainty, unsure whether to feel comforted or unnerved by what had transpired. Regardless of the explanation, it was a moment moment they would never forget, a bittersweet blend of grief, love, and the unexplainable. In the next case, we were able to gather two separate recordings of the same paranormal entity captured from different perspectives by a husband and wife. The first recording was filmed by the wife and the second by the husband, both documenting an unsettling series of events that occurred in their home. It was around 2 a.m. when the initial video was taken, as both the husband and wife were abruptly woken from their sleep by what you're about to witness.
Ya Allah. Siapa? Ya Allah. Astagfirullahaladzim, ya Allah. Siapa? 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 Ya Allah. Ya Allah.
The sound of persistent knocking could be heard coming from the other side of their bedroom door. The wife repeatedly whispered the word "Shapa," which translates to who in English, but no reply came. Despite the eerie situation and the inherent risk involved, she decided to open the door. Luckily, no one dangerous was on the other side. However, there was also no one there at all. This made the situation even stranger. At first, the couple considered the possibility of someone playing a prank, but their suspicions shifted toward the paranormal after what the husband captured later that same night.
Siapa? Siapa manggil?
In the second clip, the husband recorded their bathroom shower behaving in a bizarre way without warning. The shower began turning on and off repeatedly, something the family had never experienced before. What made the event even creepier was that this only occurred when the bathroom door was closed. Each time the door was open, the shower would stop only for it to start up again as soon as it was shut. While it's not unheard of for faulty plumbing to cause strange behavior, this level of specificity was far too unusual to dismiss as a mechanical issue. Convinced that a ghost was playing tricks on them, the couple was left thoroughly shaken. It was a night they would never forget, and they hope never to experience anything like it again. A father is playing hide and seek with his young children one evening when something disturbing is unexpectedly caught on their nanny cam. This camera is typically set up to monitor the children at night, offering peace of mind by ensuring the kids are safe as they sleep. The family is known for being cheerful and they play games together almost every night. Hide and seek is by far a family favorite. The kids find endless amusement in hearing their parents struggle to discover their hiding spots. Up until now, nothing unusual or eerie had ever happened during these evening games, and they weren't the type to buy into tales of the supernatural. However, on this specific night, the kids weren't the only ones hidden. Watch close.
downstairs?
No. Yes, we're having. Up here.
Hard time here.
This is stressing me out.
You're stressed out.
Well, I don't know. I just heard you screaming. I told her to wait there. I don't.
You might need to check.
As the father searches around the house, the mirror on one of the walls suddenly flies open. At first he assumes the children are hiding behind it and playfully acts startled, hoping to make them laugh. Yet when he looks behind the mirror, he finds no one there initially. He thinks it might have just been a loose hinge, but if you listen closely, you can hear a faint high from somewhere nearby. This subtle but chilling sound hints at something far more unexplainable than a loose mirror shaken. The father later admits he'll avoid opening that mirror again, not wanting to relive this unnerving experience or feel that strange chill that followed him around the rest of the night. If you are brave enough and not afraid of this video will definitely scare you.
I can see